Hey, this is Ask the Boot Guy, where you guys get to ask me questions about work boots, work gear, personal questions. And today's question comes from a guy in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Aaron writes that he recently picked up a pair of Timberland Boondocks 8-inch insulated boots and had to return them after a week. Now, here's the scenario. He worked all week going in and out of the job site, got his truck really muddy. His boots were fine. He's not working around any water. But on Friday, he took his truck into one of those power washing, hand wand washing places where you can wash your truck or your car. He was standing there in his work boots and he realized that one foot was extremely wet. So 1 foot, not 2 feet. So he brought the boots back. They gave him a new pair of boots. The next week, he was in and out of water, different job site, and both his feet were wet. Now, when he returned the boots this time, they gave him a hard time about returning the boots. It's one of the bigger stores up there in Milwaukee. So what he's asking me is, could it be that, as they told him in the store, it might not be water, it might be sweat? So Aaron, buddy, that very well could be. You're wearing an insulated boot, you're wearing a waterproof barriered boot, you're wearing a heavy duty leather boot. I understand that you need the boot. The boot is a tool. It allows you to do your job extremely well. Could it be sweat? Yes, it could, because you're in Milwaukee, I'm in Chicago. Right now, our climates are almost parallel and the same. But that little bit of temperature difference, I have a little bit more humidity down here. You guys are a little bit drier. But you're moving around, you're outdoors, you're wearing good socks. As you told me, it could just be sweat in the second pair. The first pair, that one boot was wet and one boot wasn't, and you were standing in a car wash, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a bad liner. That sounds like a bad membrane. I'm gonna go with the people at the shop. I'm sorry they gave you a hard time, but sometimes that's just how these things work. Sometimes boots, temperatures, climates, pressures, all this stuff with the membranes comes into play, and sometimes you get the perfect storm where your outside temperature, your inside temperature, they're almost identical, and so the properties of the waterproof membrane just don't do any good. There's not enough to pull the moisture away. There's not enough cold pressure to do that. So Aaron, I'm with you, buddy, but sometimes people can be jerks in stores. They don't mean it. They're just, you know, they're human beings. They take things personally. You return a pair of boots, they act like they made the boots and you're unhappy with their craftsmanship. All right, this is Ask the Boot Guy, where you guys get to ask me questions about boots, about work gear, personal questions, questions of philosophy, questions about my favorite, yada, yada, yada. So remember, hey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to check out my Patreon page where you guys can support me for all the fine work I do here on the Boot Guy Reviews. All right, see you next time.